Hey, what's up, fellas? Goemar here, and welcome back to Danganronpa Lapse. Now, I do apologize. It's been a little bit since I've been back to this game. I was trying to upload like shortly after I did the infected infestation. I was trying to upload it like the same day, but I just messed up because I got really busy with playing other games. But I do apologize, and we can get back into it. Now, last we left off was here. I was gonna say, wait, what? Yeah, here. I gotta remember all my voices. I know Echo just had like a softer voice. I opened my eyes. The clock on my bedside table read 12 o'clock. Oh, I must have dozed off a little. Why can't this weird situation just be a dream already? I stare blankly around in my personal room. I guess I could take a walk to get my mind off things. Alright, I am so sorry about that. I took a small break to get some water and some food so that way I could sound more energized and more focused. So we're back into it. I made my way to the foyer and sighed again. The grandiose foyer was empty, making me feel smaller against its elaborate decor. I dawdled around for a spell, thinking of what to do when I heard a small conversation in the dining hall. Have a look at this. Oh, what's up? Look at Echo all sneaky. There's Pandora inside. I paused at the doorway. It seemed they were in the middle of something. Beautiful, isn't it? Oh, it's lovely. The engraving is just immaculate. My sister gave it to me ages ago. I was wondering if you'd like it. Huh? Why me? Were you wanting something in return? Nothing of the sort. I was thinking, as a watchmaker, you must have a rich eye for detail. I believe you could give this piece the care it needs. I don't know. If it's a gift from your sister, wouldn't you want to keep it? I'm afraid I can't quite put it to good use. Good enough use. I cherish it, but if someone else can appreciate it more than I, who am I to keep it away from her? Sorry, I'm trying to get back into having her French accent. I know people probably don't like it, but hey, I'm trying. I'll try to take care of it. Thank you. That's a sweet conversation. Or it actually could be implanting evidence on her. You never trust people. Especially since the killing game was just announced yesterday. Even after a pressing situation made itself known, it seemed like Pandora still wanted to get along with everyone, even the most timid person, some way or another. I left them alone. I stepped back to the center of the foyer. I wonder how everyone else is doing. Oh, cool. It's a free time thing. I'm gonna check on. Ashley's my best friend. I mean, in times like this, you probably should stick with people. You should probably talk to people who you don't know exactly. Because me and Ashley already have like a pretty solid bond, if you know what I mean. Like we're already tight. We'll go to Forte. Forte is probably in the theater. Killing game was announced. I know my best friend Ashley's. Oh, please don't kill anyone, Ashley. Welcome to the stage, Echo. I was just admiring the selection of props backstage. Would you like to try some? I could try on some hats and masks with Forte. This killing game can't be our reality, can it? Excuse me, just thinking aloud. That's okay. I was wondering the same thing. I mean, the preservation project. What am I saying? I can't be related. Surely the group has been infiltrated and is pulling a horrible prank. Though, I can't say I enjoy the perpetrator's flavor of humor. What is the Preservation Project anyway? It's a group that provides safe housing for ultimate students, protecting them from extreme natural disasters. It had a reputation for taking in small groups of students at a time, since the news of it was passed along solely by word of mouth. Once enough students signed up, a number of them were let in. In our case, it seems the message got to the 10 of us. Word of mouth? Yes, a lot of Ultimate students often flock together in small communities within their area, since they're often outcast by the average people. I personally heard it when they acquired when acquired an ultimate radio host to help spread the message to my community. I can recall with clarity, his voice was boisterous and engaging, not unlike that strange announcer. Ultimate radio host? Holy frick. This game has like the most unique ultimates. Despite that, it was a modest arrangement overall. There seemed to be a constrained effort not to spread the word far and wide, which is strange considering the varying range of students and talents around the world. Wouldn't you think the group would extend this offer to more ultimates? I guess it does feel a little deliberate. Listen to me jawing away. Don't mind my pedantic thoughts, just trying to make sense of this is all. Forte quieted down as he continued to inspect the costumes backstage. Ultimate communities. I thank Forte for spending time with me and left the theater. Interesting. Oh, never mind. We get to talk to everyone. Nice. So we don't lose anyone. There's also a second floor. Location unknown? Where are they? That's so nice. Let's go talk to Ashley then. I wonder how Ash is doing. So Ashley. Hey Echo, I was just reading about this painter named Marcel Osterzon. Apparently people think very highly of their work. Would you like to see? I learned about a Renaissance painter, thanks to Ashley. So, how are you feeling? I'm feeling a bit better. I took a walk to clear my head a little. Glad to hear it. The last thing I would want is for you to get all worked up. Ash, I'm curious. How did you hear about the preservation project? I heard about it by word of mouth. I had some Ultimate Talent colleagues that were talking about the preservation project, so I signed up for it along with my friend, the Ultimate Race Car Driver. Wow, jockey and race car driver? That's a pretty high stakes tag team. Well, you know how it goes. Birds of a feather flock together. But I can't help but wonder whether or not he made it in. I'm sure he did. He's probably just in a different group. Maybe. It's just, last I spoke with him, we got in a huge fight. That's okay. I shouldn't see him want to talk anymore. Sorry if I brought up something painful. No, it's okay. Fights happen when people are close. It's just a fact of life, I suppose. We've had our fair share of spats, but have usually worked through them. Remember when I dropped your mug? I still have that mug. You worked pretty hard to mend it together in that kintsugi fashion, although it's a little too awkward to drink out of. I knew it was your favorite, so I did my best. Thanks, Echo. I appreciate what you're trying to say. Don't worry about my silly fight. I'll get over it. Say goodbye and let her have some alone time. Missy. Let's talk to everybody. Why not? I can't sit still knowing there are questions to be answered. Would you like to join me in an investigation? I helped Missy search every corner of the foyer to no avail. That was a kind of heavy sigh. Are you okay? I'm not immune to the pressure of the situation we have found ourselves in, and I must confess something, if you would allow me to think aloud a moment. I intended to join the preservation project as a part of their operating group once I heard about it. I thought my skills would prove useful. Really? Where are you thinking about it now? I'm convinced the group must have been infiltrated. The group is known for bringing in many talents from around the world. For starters, I know the Preservation Project Safe House was a large building with many wings for each group of Ultimate students. The groups are divided by the window of time students signed up. Wait, the groups are divided by the window of time? Yeah, suicide, I read that right. In our case, we all signed up with a relatively close time frame, creating a group of 10. The individual groups are often offered a class project to work on together, utilizing all the unique skills in their pool. Okay, you say that. That's really interesting. But like, let's just put two random ultimates here. How would the ultimate radio race car driver and the ultimate jockey, like how would they possibly work on a group project? What could they do? What could a horse rider and a race car driver work on a group project in? And especially if there's like a group of 10. I don't get it personally, but I'm sure it's something that could be interesting. These projects apparently have varying results, given the fact that each group may or may not. Oh, I'm so dumb. I just said that without looking at the screen. Incompatible talents. Okay. Regardless, the end products are usually very unique. Wow, that sounds interesting. Certainly. It would have been an amusing and challenging experience to participate as well. But alas, the ultimate students, huh? Alright, let Missy continue investigating in peace. And next, let's go talk to the homies up here. Here. I wonder if art is okay. I had to find like a better voice for her. I was looking back at the video trying to like encapsulate all my voices because a lot of the voices bled together, so I wanted to kind of separate them more. Echo, want to see how high I can climb? Safety first, though, of course. I watch our struggle with the ropes and harness for giving up on the idea of climbing altogether. So weird. What's on your mind? This game thing. The announcement said it was a game, but it's not a very fun premise, you know what I'm saying? A huge mansion or whatever, just for the 10 of us to play a killing game? It seems, I don't know, expensive? What do you mean? This place is huge! I would have thought maybe more people would be involved by the looks of it. Not that I want a lot of people to play a killing game. You say a lot of people, but are ultimate students really so common? Yes and no. I'm familiar with Ashley's name only because I pay attention to the sport, but I know zilch about photography. I think you just have to be in the right circles. And to put in perspective, there are billions of people on the planet. It only seems like a lot of ultimate students in this moment since we're all gathered up together. That's true. Well, at least you don't have to worry much about all this ultimate talent stuff. It's tiring sometimes. That hurts. Anyway, doesn't look like I can figure out this climbing business. Catch you later. He gave me a quick nod as he zipped out of the climbing center. I think even he realized I was awkward. I'll look for Cyrus. Hello, Echo. Have you come to relax for a bit in the spa? Feel free to join me. So this with Cyrus for a relaxing moment. Echo's just going around hanging out with everybody a little bit. Nice. Cyrus, what do you know about the preservation project? Oh, just about as much as any other student who signed up. It's a group that protects ultimate students from extreme natural disaster. To preserve humanity's future, it's presumed that their goal is the same as the name implies. Huh, that's as much as I know too. It would be unfortunate to lose people who would benefit the world, right? That makes sense. What do you think of all this? Aside, this scenario we found ourselves it feels like the very opposite of saving ultimate students. It's terrible. Building excitement and hopes of safety, only to crush those feelings in a messed up game? Couldn't wrap my head around the idea. A more than reasonable observation. It's cruel, isn't it? But most of all, I was still confused as to why and how I found myself here. In that case, what do you think of the others? Huh? What about them? Well, our associates all found their way here for some reason or another. Isn't that right? No one would want to join a killing game voluntarily. That much is obvious. But say that the former were true, that they joined to become a part of humanity's future. Pandora seems keen on the idea that our talents can induce worldly benefit and change. Do you think such a thing could happen? I suppose so. Why not? Sarah chuckled faintly. Why not? How optimistic. Oh, yeah, I guess there might be a lot to hope for from the scenario we're in. No, it's good. It's good for you to maintain the spirit that anything is possible. Cyrus flashed a pleasant smile again before reclining back on the spa chair in silence. After a beat, I saw myself out as Cyrus continued to enjoy his time in the spa. And the last people... Oh, they're separate? Aren't they like in the same room? Let's go talk to the lady that abandoned me. Because I'm still curious, like, why did she see me knocked out on the ground and went to the second floor in a hurry instead of, like, you know, calling for help? And on her way, just said, like, oh, by the way, Echo's knocked out down there. Oh, that's why I said location unknown. I don't even know where they are. I looked up and down the halls, but couldn't find Kanan anywhere. I guess she's in her personal room. I give Echo more less of a nasally voice. I'm picturing their face. I made my way over to her listed personal room in the living quarters and knocked lightly. Kanan? There was no response on the other end. Either she was out being difficult to find, or she didn't want to be bothered. Whatever the case, I moved on. Let's see if we can find Lyle. I wonder what Lyle's up to. I can't find him either. I went up the first and second hallways in search of Lyle, but failed to find him. I guess he's off solving the killing game puzzle. Better let him get to it. Okay, well, I guess day's over. That was nice. We could just kind of go around and talk around people. I think that's everyone. Learn a little bit more about this preservation project and how the others found their way to this place. Despite that, I was still left pondering my purpose here. After spending some time with my fellow classmates, I habitually wandered back to my personal room. But upon entering, I realized I didn't have any personal effects with which to pass the time. I stepped right back out in the hall to see if anyone wanted to socialize. I don't know, oh! Incidentally, I came across Sai and Kanan on their way in from the foyer in the halls. Hey Sai, Kanan. I was about to go to the dining hall. Did you want to come? We just left the dining hall. Oh, I see. We stood in silence for half a minute, just stand there for 30 seconds. Well, I, should go. Sai shuffled off, leaving me and Kanan for the empty air. She went right back out to the foyer to who knows where. Sai's personal room is right here. Maybe she wants to spend time in one of the activity rooms? Maybe. Conversation came to a stalemate. I'm just being cautious. Kanan turned and withdrew to her personal room. Without a deep breath I didn't know I was holding in. Kanan tires me out. In the dining hall, I made my way to the dining hall, running to Ashley along the way. We greeted each other in a rather unusual manner before sitting down with the other students who had already settled in for a meal. Ashley and Echo, feel free to join us. We were just starting. How have you been faring since this morning? I'm feeling much better, thanks. Pleased to hear it. Missy sat at the head of the table. Art and Cyrus sat across from each other, with Ashley sitting next to Cyrus. I shuffled in, sitting next to Art. Okay, wait, I should probably pay attention to this. Sitting next to Art and across from Ashley. So Art and Cyrus sat across from each other. And Ashley sitting next to Cyrus. And I sitting next to Art across from Ashley. Okay. Man, what kind of class only has 5 students? One that has been disillusioned by a strange game, apparently. Yes, it's a little bit disheartening to see only half our group gathered here. Well, it isn't strictly required that we all have dinner together. I saw Sai and Kanan in passing. They must have had their share already and were on their way out. Sai's a pretty shy girl, but I can understand perhaps she didn't want to be around a large group of people. And Kanan, she's awfully mysterious. Well, there's no use in wondering about them. They can do whatever they please, so we shouldn't question their actions. Oh God, Echo! Even if they're suspicious. And for that matter, doesn't the killing game frighten any of you? I've voiced questions that have been ruling my thoughts. I mean, there's really no one capable of that sort of thing, is there? My question was met with silence. Echo, I understand that you might be afraid right now, but it won't do you any good to worry. You're only going to run yourself ragged thinking about the frightful possibilities. Yeah, Missy's right. It's just some dumb announcement out of nowhere, so what's the threat? Precisely. We shouldn't make ourselves sick with anxiety from something that hasn't invoked any consequences. Plus, if this were a killing game, why would they give us such nice amenities? Why not just throw us in a creepy locked building? Wouldn't that pressure us further into killing each other to escape an unknown scary building? I wonder. Regardless, we shouldn't dwell on the specifics of something so mysterious and harmless. Let us just enjoy each other's company and the fixing this mansion to its fullest. Thank you for the encouraging words, Missy. Missy won't get shook up. She's the definition of keeping it cool. With the atmosphere lighting up, we continued our dinner with lively chat. I was thankful to have such positive energy surrounding me. That's nice. At least we know all 5 of us are cool. Then we have like Lyle and Kanan, who we don't really trust. Pandora, who randomly gave a gif. Sai, who's very quiet. Me, you know. Of course, all the suspicious people weren't there. After dinner, we all departed to wrap the evening with our own activities. Ashley and I walked over to the living quarters to rest for the evening. Before we went to our respective rooms, Ashley pulled me over to the end of the living quarters hallway. Ash, what's up? Echo, I've been thinking, I don't know how to say this. This killing game, it has me really worried. An ultimate battle royale. Just saying that is ridiculous. It has to be some kind of themed ARG or weird elaborate prank. I was kidding around, but Ashley remained still with a serious demeanor. Well, you're here, aren't you? How else would you explain your high school plaque on your personal room door? It's a pretty good point, actually. Huh? Sure, it's a little strange, but that could mean anything. I was probably just mistaken for a different student in my high school. You know what I think it means? It means I was right. Echo, being involved with me only results in ultimate levels of trouble. You really gotta stop saying that, like, unironically, because that sounds like something you'd hear out of, like, Kamen Rider. This game that's specifically curated for ultimate students managed to gain a collateral student participant simply by association me. Ash, what are you saying? I don't want you to worry about me. Yes, I can protect myself, but it's more than that. I remember that night. The night you dropped me off after we had dinner. You couldn't walk me to my house. I did, in fact, make it to the house in one piece. When I looked back out on the street, I noticed something strange. I saw smoke. It was coming from the direction you dropped me off, so I assumed the worst. I wanted to run out there and see what had happened, but the only thing I remembered after that was a sharp pain and then black. Right, it must have been a target or something. Someone must have subdued and captured me, and at the same time, you as well. Smoke is pretty interesting. Like, what kind? Like fire smoke? Then? Because, I mean, that's the only really smoke I can think of. Whoever did this, it seemed they wanted to cover all their bases, which meant if you saw anything that night, you had to be taken also. I trembled at the thought. The problem was, I didn't see a thing happen that night. Echo, I can protect myself, but I want you to keep your distance. So whatever happens to me doesn't come to harm you as well. Come on. How could you say that? We're best friends. I can't abandon you at a time like this. I need you to leave me alone. It's for your own safety. I have to correct that. It hurts me to even think about it, but I don't want you to be in danger because of your relation to me as a close friend. I couldn't believe what was happening. Ashley's face was painted with remorse. She only wanted to keep me safe, but in return it meant we need to be apart. Ashley gave me one last hug before retiring to her room for the night. Ashley, I hung my head in despair. Why did this have to happen? Clenched my fist in frustration. Dang it! Pounded the wall, trying to process everything, when I heard a gentle voice. I'm so sorry for what just happened. I turned around to find the source of her voice a few paces behind me. Oh, Pandora. Her voice was barely a whisper. Pandora, you heard our conversation? I apologize. I didn't mean to eavesdrop. I was only nearby because I wanted to talk to you privately. Me? Yes. I was wondering, does this message mean anything to you? Please do not speak of this. I couldn't really read it much. Pandora pulled a small piece of paper out of her apron pocket. The note had 2 small symbols along with some text. If you recognize one of the symbols depicted, you have finally found me and are safe. Please do not speak of this note's existence. Trust no one but yourself. Huh. Upon close inspection, the symbols were similar to the ones the announcement showed. What? What does this mean? Do you recognize either of them? I can't say that I do. Oh, that's unfortunate. I was confused by the contents of the note, so I was hoping someone could help me. In particular, I was wondering what the note meant by "you are safe." Based on what's shown on the note itself, the two symbols could be of interest. It seems like there could be someone here who might be connected to whoever is controlling the announcements. Basically, there might be a spy. I thought the same, but I wish the implications weren't so. Where did you find that? It was in my apron pocket since I woke. I don't know how it got there. I don't recall putting anything like this in my pockets. You tucked the note back away in your apron pocket. However, that wasn't really what I wanted to talk to you about. I wanted to say, I feel you're a very special person. I can't really explain it, but I feel a strong aura about you. Oh, thank you? She smiled and went on. Echo, you might think being ultimate student is some kind of extravagant existence, but you forget there is beauty in the ordinary as well. Even if we do have ultimate talents, we're still regular people just like you. Waking up with bedheads, sometimes showing up late to our appointments, or just a little more preoccupied with one particular thing than most others. Thank you, Pandora. Norm has quell a bit of worry in my heart. But it is a pity what happened between you and Ashley. I don't know what to think anymore. One moment Missy is telling me not to believe a word the announcement says. Another moment Ash is cutting ties with me in a firm belief of the dangers of the game. What am I supposed to do? For my throat began to choke. Oh, stress désolé, Echo. I don't think it's my place to say. However, this is but a bump in the road. Ashley will always be our friend, no matter what. And it may be difficult to determine what's in store for us ahead, so we must keep our faith and live one moment at a time. The light started to dim as Pandora smiled at me one last time. Is that just bedtime? It is now 9 p.m. Nighttime will begin at 10 p.m. Faculties will be closed until 7 a.m. the next morning. Even the darkest nights will end and the sun will rise. Oh dear, looks like nighttime has come. Well then, bon nuit, Echo. I'm not saying those right, I know I'm not. And please don't tell anyone about this note. I don't want to cause any unnecessary trouble. I feel like this note is the key to the many mysteries of this place. I nodded. The note was odd, but I couldn't find it in me to outright doubt Pandora. Good night to you too, Pandora. We both returned to our personal rooms to pass over the night. What if you stay inside, this is out of my curiosity, what if you stayed inside a faculty room? Like, what if you stayed inside the jazz club after they closed? Are you just locked in for the whole night? Because if so, if that's how it works, I'd permanently just sleep in a faculty room. Because I mean, like, well, they do say these in their minds, they say these rooms are locked as well, unless like someone has the ID for you or something. So yeah, never mind. But no one's gonna check a faculty room, so it's more safe. Returning to my room, made myself comfortable and slipped into bed. I stared blankly at the dim ceiling, letting my mind wander aimlessly through the news I had learned today. But nothing really stuck. Words and conversations and thoughts flew by as I let my heavy eyes close. The one thought that pervaded the others was, what would be waiting for us tomorrow? Before I knew it, I fell into a deep sleep. Oh god, there's no way someone's gonna kill someone. It's only been 2 days. Like day 3. So it's only been 3 days. 2 days since the announcement. No one's gonna kill anyone. Opened my eyes to the now familiar colors of the room. I looked at the clock on my bedside table. 7:28. I turned off the alarm before it rang and steadily got out of bed. Only 2 days had passed. Oh, only 2. Yet I found myself beginning to acclimate to the sleep schedule. Splashed my face with cold water, the icy sting charging my nerves for a sharp awakening. I wonder if anyone is in the dining hall for breakfast yet. I could just starting to get my voice. I need to see him again so I can kind of change it. But it's fine. I made my way to the dining hall, stopping in the foyer for a moment to gaze at the mysterious, electrifying doorway. You want to try again? No. In the dining hall were a few early risers just starting breakfast. Morning. Good morning, Echo. Please help yourself. I made some muffins with citrus today. Hopefully it'll energize you. Nothing like a hearty, satisfying breakfast to start the day. Oh, rolling with the same crew as last night. Except, I guess Ashley was switched in for Pandora? My heart hurt when Art mentioned Ashley. Pandora must have noticed and sat close to me. Here, I made lemon squares just for you. Ashley told me in passing you liked lemon. She did? So Ashley was still looking out for me. Thanks, Pandora. Can you tell her thank you for me as well? Of course. I don't even get your way of thinking. I mean, I guess I understand Ashley. She's like, you're only in this game because you were at my house waiting for me to be safe inside. But at the same time, like, I really feel like we should stick together in a time like this where, like, we're best friends in a thing of strangers. You know, we've only known these people for 2 days time. I've known you for my whole life. Not my whole life, it's been like 4 years. I've known you for 4 years. I want to stick with you because I know you're not going to try anything to me. No one else came in during the length of our stay in the dining hall, however. Oh, God. Okay, no. It is now 9 a.m. Please assemble in the second floor atrium for a special announcement. After the announcement ended, I mechanically started to get up from my seat when Art loudly kicked his feet on the table. No way! Art leaned back in his chair and pouted. We're not going to listen to your creepy announcements, you hear? He waggled his finger aimlessly at the ceiling. I wonder what happens if we refuse to assemble. Do we want to test this passive protest? Why not? I'm curious as well. Actually, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty smart. Like, why not just not do it? Like, it's only an announcement. Hey, isn't this dangerous? I agree. It might be risky. The only risk so far has been from when Echo actively tried to escape. The past 48 hours have been nothing but casual to us. However, after a moment of silence, the painting above the fireplace switched to the announcement emblem. That was the killing game announcer. So, welcome to day 3. So it plays regardless. I sat down and allowed the announcement to disrupt our morning. He came down here. Are you all comfortable? Having a nice breakfast? Having fun sleeping in? That's great to hear. Today we'll be reviewing some general rules relative to our lovely killing game. They are as follow. Those will enjoy an idyllic lifestyle within the Apothegem walls for a duration of 7 days. Activity amenities are open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Breaking major assets, kitchen, refrigerator, theater, lights, etc. is strictly prohibited. At the end of 7 days, whoever survives is awarded the ultimate prize. To expect the process toward the ultimate prize, one must kill a fellow student without getting caught. Like, this is what I'm saying. This does not seem hard to do. Like, I don't think maybe it's just me, but nobody has any reason to hurt anybody yet. At the end of 7 days, whoever survives award the ultimate prize. Let's just all chill for like 7 days. We're good. And to get the ball rolling each morning, a special music will be provided to exercise your mind. Today's force motive question is, are your talents a true representation of who you are? Who are you beyond your talents? Stew upon these brain-teasing inquiries as you all carry on with your communal lives. And whoever actually went to the atrium gets an additional special gift. Yeah, I know. No one wants to go to the second floor just to hear an announcement. That's what speakers are for, after all. So whoever followed the rules got a little something something, if you know what I mean. Finally, if there are no developments by day's end, there will be a serious repercussions. You will all suffer the consequences of being executed as a group or failing to participate in the game. That's why I didn't go on a long tangent saying why don't we hurt anybody, because I assumed that there was going to be something like that. Check out your bracelets. They all contain a lethal dose of Complex 53, just enough to knock you into the next life in less than a minute. With my bracelet over to see a small vial of clear liquid attached to a control chip. Our bracelets had these things the whole time? But that's just a last resort. I don't really want to use them unless you all really bore me. So, come on, you all make it happen. It was our announcement cut out of the painting returns to the original form. Yeah, so now I see why people are going to start trying to kill each other. Oh, we were literally just told that if we don't kill each other, then everyone's gonna freaking die. So, the thing they're giving to motivate murder is a question? And threat of a clear liquid that is proclaimed to be a deadly toxic gas. As far as I know, such a chemical by the name Complex 53 doesn't exist. It might just be water? Like a prop or something. And to release it only at the end of the day if nothing happens? I don't know. Seems kind of weak. I furrowed my brow. I recall Missy said yesterday that the risk wasn't high enough to do something drastic. A question was hardly raising the bar, not to mention a small vial of liquid. As for the other, provided motive, as it were. I don't understand. Are we meant to discuss the question with each other? Perhaps, unless anyone has any skeletons in the closet, I believe it is only fair to share our thoughts on the subject. I sheepishly ducked my head, but Missy called me. I'm out of this subject automatically. Echo, why don't you lead us in our discussion? You are the most qualified, since you sit in a rather gray area when it comes to ultimate talents. Which isn't to say you're not included, but to give the most neutral viewpoint that is appropriate for judgment. Sure, if you say so. If you don't want to, it's not necessary. It's alright. I have to admit, I'm pretty curious now. Sure, alright. Well, let's see what everyone has to say. Well, Pandora, I haven't heard, like, you say everyone else said something in this room, but Pandora. Like, Pandora didn't say anything. We'll just re-say over this. One thing that's also interesting is that anybody that went to the atrium got a special prize. Now, I already know the guy that went to the atrium most likely is probably Lyle, the freaking guy who thinks like it's all just a huge puzzle, because he's just the type of guy that would do that 100%. So he probably got something. Pandora. Who am I beyond my talent? Honestly, I wouldn't be anything without baking. Even in another life, I think I'd always find my way back to baking. It's just in my soul. I think at the core of it, such an activity represents all that I care for in life. The simplicity, sharing good food with friends. To make something confused with love, and to bring that joy to others. It's quite a special feeling, is it not? Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Listen to me, being so sentimental. You really love baking, huh? Oh, it's everything. Oh, well, she's fine. Missy? A political tactician, huh? It's not glamorous. I'm often tasked with knowing the burdens and misdeeds of many people in power. It's somewhat a curse to be able to lie my way out of a sticky situation. How do you feel about being called the ultimate tactician, though? I don't mind. It is what it is. It is the strength I've been blessed with, and I would be misspoken if I said I took an interest in other things. I've always known my personality to be that of someone who informs. And if I can give a purpose-driven voice power to speak up for what's right, then the ensuing battle, be it a difficult one, will produce satisfying results. I believe at the end of it, if intense debate occurs, there's often an intense emotion behind it. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen your fair share of selfishness and greed, though. Circumventing those intentions can be trying, but you just need to take the good with the bad. Missy, self-assured as always. God, I realize I'm sorry my voice sounds a little bit worse. Like, I realize I'm getting a little sick, and like I'm like freezing in my room. My hands are white and I'm black. But I'm really cold right now, so I'm sorry my voice sounds a little bit worse for wear. I'm trying my best here. I want to talk to Cyrus last, because he's the ultimate charisma. Like, what are you without being charismatic? Is being, wow, you have like oh, let's get to this. It's like look like a Pokemon trainer like this. Is being a pro golfer a true representation of who I am? I don't really get it. I mean, I think it is. I haven't really expanded my interest outside what I know, which is golf. So I can't say anything else encompasses me, who I am. Encompass who I am. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think so. If you try something new now, I think it might be disorienting to fail at said activity, since you're not ultra skilled in it. Oh, yeah, that does make sense. Well, ultimate golfer or not. Yeah, I like playing golf. I think I got so good at the sport because I knew I liked it all this time and stuck around with it. Never really thought of any other stuff. Yeah, there we go. I guess a simple sentiment. Thanks, Echo. So, Cyrus. Yes? What does being called the ultimate charisma entail? Why, it's the mystifying ability to draw people toward me with little to no effort. Or, so I've been told. Some might equate the word charisma with charm, and in turn, thinking that charisma has to do with good looks, beautiful voice, overflowing wealth, etc. However, I think charisma actually lies in simply having a kind soul. People are swayed by those with a kind soul, be it they have good intentions to follow through, or bad intentions to take advantage of. Myself absorbed in Cyrus' statement. He's so good. I might even say you're rather charismatic yourself, Echo. Oh, I don't know if I would go that far. Nonsense. I welcome your presence. It's calming. Felt a little embarrassed I'd been given such kind praise from the one so-called ultimate charisma himself. So with that in mind, how would you describe your personality and talent? I'm not sure. It's always so difficult to talk about yourself. Though I suppose I do like going with the flow. I guess a word could be corroborative. Everyone said similar things. That their talents run alongside their personalities. You couldn't have one without the other. What an odd motive. I would imagine talking about this kind of thing among peers would only reinforce relations. If our captors are trying to plant distrust, I'm afraid I don't quite understand the logic. Thought about the intentions of the question, but all I could think was that it might be to weed out spies, which involuntarily led me to suspect the person I would least suspect. Is something the matter, Echo? Nothing. I averted my gaze from Pandora. She had some kind of secret note that bore the strange emblems of our mansion announcers. What could it mean? If I may be so bold, I firmly believe from my discussion that our ultimate talents are truly one and the same with our personality and characteristics. I'm inclined to agree. I guess it's cool that we got to know each other a little more, though it seems like a friendly enough topic. Indeed, our talents and skills born from a passion within, and you simply cannot remove that aspect of a person without losing a part of them. A peculiar motivator, that one. With our thoughts on the forced motive question cleared, our group was able to finish the morning in peace. The breakfast club wrapped up with no other announcements to interrupt us. The afternoon was completely available for our individual activities. I didn't have anything in particular planned today, so I idled in the foyer before deciding what to do next. Hey, Echo. A familiar voice heard from behind me. Oh, it's Art. Okay. I never give a voice when it's just question mark, because I don't know what voice. What's up, Art? This might be weird to ask, but do you mind if I hang out with you today? Hey, sure. I'm kind of curious about other students' talent stories, but I didn't want to go running around the mansion alone. Why didn't you ask one of the others from breakfast? Huh? Oh, because you're cool. What? I mean, you're easy to talk to. I thought about asking Missy, but Missy's kind of imposing, honestly. You know, I feel like I have to walk all nice, like I'm balancing books on my head or something. I don't think she's strict on how others walk or anything like that. That aside, she stuck around with you on the first day, didn't she? Oh yeah, you're right. Well, I'm asking you now since I'm here. Besides, can't find Lyle. I wanted to get another strategy meeting started today, and maybe even help him with solving stuff, but so I was his second choice. Somehow, he seemed disappointed. Sure, I'll tag along. I didn't really have anything planned today anyway. I trailed off thinking about Ashley. We can probably cut down on one visit right here, since you and Ashley are best friends. You know anything about her talent? Honestly, I can't say that I do. This is the first time I even heard about such a thing like ultimate talents. All I knew was that she lived out in the countryside with her father on a ranch West Bridge Stables. Sorry, I was hard to get out. I didn't think about her. I didn't think all. My God. I didn't think all her time around horses amounted to something as intense as being an ultimate jockey. Maybe she just likes to be modest. I mean, just because she has high win rates doesn't mean she avoids taking care of horses. Kind of like how she works hard and plays hard. Does that make sense? I couldn't really make heads or tails of it. I didn't really want to be thinking about Ashley at the moment anyway. It was too overwhelming. I sighed. Yeah, I suppose that could be it. All right, that's one down. Let's keep going. It seems I got roped into exploring the other students' opinions on the forced motive question with Art. Not that I was opposed to the idea of learning about the others. There were a handful of people who we haven't heard from. There we go. Hanging out with my boy Art, even though I'm his second option. It's all right. We cool with that. I get you. Let's go to Forte again. Why not? Forte is probably where I think he is. Art and Echo. What brings you here? Art here was curious about your opinion on the forced motive question. Yeah, why opera? Isn't it boring? Art full of tact, I see. It's quite the opposite of boring. Performances are very rich and can shake the viewers to the core. Opera is a wonderful art that combines raw vocal emotion with the physical beauty of expressing the self with your very being. Oh, want to hit us with some bars? I love art. Forte's operatic voice. To say I was a little curious would be an understatement. Oh no, I couldn't perform under these conditions. What conditions? Why, the conditions of the heart, of course. What's wrong with your heart? Burn? I feel that. Can we ask why that is? Well, you see, I haven't been able to properly express myself since a tragedy struck my hometown. We lost a friend in our community. Sir Heidi, one of our most loyal friends. One of his favorite pastimes included long walks in the park with the wind gently brushing through his ears. Is he a dog? Wait, is he talking about what I think he's talking about? You lost your dog? Art! Yes, I'm still rather fragile about it. I'm sorry. That sucks, man. C'est devil. Whatever that means. I suppose it's different experiencing tragedy than performing it. Ah, precisely. I've been troubled since. What kind of dog was he? A German Shepherd of 13 years. I'm sure you gave him a great full life, with lots of music, of course. Forte's lip turned to a small grin. Indeed. Dog is a man's best friend, are they not? It would have been unseemly of me to not treat him like my own family. He has such a charm and wit, howling along with my practice. Well, I dare say he prevented me from practicing times more often than not. Wait, hold on, what? I dare say he prevented me from practicing times more often than not. There you go. Sir Heidi loved to command the attention of all with his gaiety. And I besmirked the idea of his dog on a theater stage. It was a sweet thought. Yeah, just remember all those old good times with Mr. Heidi. Indeed I shall. Thank you, Art. Losing a dog is not losing someone, bro. I mean, loss is loss, especially like if you treat a dog well, that's just your family, not even a dog to you at that point. Just family. After that small chat, Art and I thanked Forte for his time and paused near the theater exit to collect our thoughts. I bet his dog's really fun to play with. Anyway, what did we learn? I don't think we got an answer to the question as much as we did get a description of what opera is. I think we did. Forte's kind of a dramatic guy, sure, but I think he is very in tune with his emotions. Just like opera. That's why with the answer, Art nodded in understanding. Despite him jumping straight to Forte's worries, Art seems to have helped Forte recall his fondness of his late friend. He lived a long, full life. Let's try to find Sai. Art and I saw Sai in the kitchen, poking at the digital screen. I haven't eaten since yesterday. Sai, what's the matter? Oh, it's no use. I don't know how to use this screen thing. It doesn't register my taps. You need to tap your bracelet on the screen first, and then you can choose a meal. What? She raised her right arm and scanned her bracelet to the screen, activating the display. This is embarrassing. I'm not right-handed, so I didn't think about it. Glad I could help. So I poked at the digital screen, ordering a rice porridge with pickled vegetables. Eat up, Sai. Echo, let's get something too so she doesn't have to eat alone. Art, Sai, and I shared a meal together. After we finished, Sai quietly sat in the dining hall and fiddled with her rings. She then let out a big, exasperated sigh. It's really no use. What's wrong? I can't get used to anything around here. It may be because I'm kind of forgetful, but I went so long without eating because I couldn't figure out the menu thing. You shouldn't go so long without eating. If you need help with anything, you can always ask one of your friends here. Friends? Was that too forward? No, it's just I don't talk to you all much, so I didn't believe you thought of me as a friend. Don't say that. There's no reason we wouldn't call you a friend, right? She stopped there, but I saw a small smile turn the corner of her lips. So, right down to business. Business? We came by to see you to ask you, about the question thing. The question thing? You mean the forced motive question? Yeah, a group of us were talking about it in the dining hall over breakfast, and we were wondering if you had any thoughts about it? I don't know. It seems straightforward. I'm a detail-oriented person, and watches are full of little mechanisms. Although, I guess I can get lost in those details and miss the big picture. Like, just now. But then again, after all the gear design differences under the face of the watch, the outcome is still fixed. A timepiece, right? Yeah, I don't really understand what the question is supposed to be all about. Sorry. No worries. We don't know either, so we were just going around getting everyone's opinion. Oh, I see. Well, good luck figuring it out then. Sai clams up and quickly scuttles out, off before we can say anything else. Oh, bye? She's kind of antsy, huh? He's cool. We haven't seen Lyle since like the Killing Game announcement. Like, I don't. Where the frick is he hiding? Let's see if we can find him. I wonder. No, like, we have not seen him since the announcement. And I look for Lyle, but he remains elusive as ever. What the heck? Where is Lyle? Don't know. I'm certain we would have run into him by now. If we run around some more, we're bound to find him sooner or later. Kanon can't avoid us forever. I hope this art voice not bad. It's so different from the voice I gave him in the beginning, but like the voice I gave him at the beginning, it was like I didn't have a set voice for him. I was just kind of giving him a placeholder voice. I was like, you know what, screw it. Let's give him like kind of a Pokemon trainer, excited, like bouncy guy, because he's the one that speaks in the most exclamation points. Arts and I hid behind some bushes watching quietly. Hey, I know you are there. Be quiet until I'm done. We watched the signs as she snapped various photos of the plants. Out with it. What do you want? Echo was curious about your talent in relation to the force and motive question. Way to throw me out. I was gonna say, really, man? Way to throw me under the bus. Yeah, just wanted to hear your thoughts. There's not much to say. I know who I am. I'm a photographer, a behind-the-scenes kind of person who brings others' visions to life and captures them for eternity. Was this rehearsed or what? No. I just know who I am. With a certainty. Just as Kanan was about to make a dramatic exit on that lingering note, Pandora caught her on the way out. Oh, Kanan. Just the person I want to see. And what? Is this about the motive question as well? Indeed. Rook and figure is an interesting subject. Would you mind if I asked what draws you to it? Yes, I do mind. It's niche, and I don't want to waste my breath explaining these nuances to people who wouldn't understand. No activity is so niche that it's acted upon without love, you know. Whatever, leave me alone. Did I offend you? No. Just, why are you all bombarding me with these questions? We're not close. This is how we get close. We make small talk and learn about each other. It's all in good spirit. Well, I really wish you wouldn't bother. Can I have this conversation for us again and disappears from the atrium? Well, I guess that's that. Sorry you had to walk in on that, Pandora. It's fine. Perhaps it wasn't my place to ask. I shouldn't pry, right? No, you didn't do anything wrong. Kanan's just kinda snippy. That's putting it kindly. Thank you, Aunt Echo. Excuse me. I just remembered something. I'll see you two around? Oh, sure thing. We'll see you later. I'm playing for about an hour, not much is happening. Everything's like pretty chill, honestly. After running around all day, Art and I managed to catch Lyle as soon as he was about to enter his room on the other side of the living quarters hall. Oh, frick. Oh, Lyle. Okay, I didn't click. Yeah. Yo, Lyle. Hey there. What's the good word? You're awfully casual for being so difficult to find. Yeah, we finally caught you. Huh? You've been running around this whole building solving puzzles. And we've been running around this whole building looking for you. Oh, I'm in hot demand. Is that right? Yeah, we wanted to hear your thoughts on the motive question. We thought it might improve relations, getting to know each other better and all. Ah, that. Forced motive question. It's not a very strong motivator, is it? What if I don't want to talk about it? I suppose you don't have to. Yeah, but we're friends. We should share stuff like this. And friends should know when to let up off the pressure. Oh, sorry, Lyle. I looked down dejectedly. I'm sure I didn't mean to press you so hard. It's fine. It's just, I've known puzzles all my life, you know? Puzzle solving is more of a introverted task, if you will. They're generally seen as activities simply for passing the time. Cubing, crosswords, etc., etc. I don't really like thinking about who I am beyond my talent is all. I'm afraid that I'm too boring without puzzles. You're not boring. You're plenty cool. I mean, look around. You've got all sorts of friends here who thinks you're amazing for charging right towards the electric door. Solving the electric door. Right, Echo? Amazing was one way to put it. Yeah, Lyle, don't beat yourself up. You have a gift. Thanks, you two. But hey, while we're on the topic, listen to this. I tinkered with the door and I managed to figure something out. Got our attention as he led the way to the foyer. You disable the electric lock? Be crazy. Here we are. Give the door a try. What? No way. Does that mean we don't have to stay here anymore? Well, that's the catch. Go ahead. I give a lot of nervous look before reaching slowly for the door handle. What's 2 electric shocks if it shocks me again? Bracing myself, I quickly gripped the handle and nothing happened. I was fine. Wow, Lyle, you did it! You heard a few push that wouldn't budge. Oh, what now? What the? Is there a barricade or something? I think so. That or it's just hard locked. So I managed to disable the electric door, but the physical barrier is an issue now. I admit, I'm relieved there's more layers to this task. What do you mean? It would have been too boring if I just had to disarm a door. Jesus. Unconcerned with the discovery, Lyle was more satisfied with having more puzzles to solve than he was with removing a trap from the dangerous door. Here's something else that's interesting though. Might be important since it's about this weird killing game twist. After that 9 a.m. morning announcement, I saw Sai sneak downstairs from the direction of the atrium. You think she actually went to listen to that announcement? I can't think of anything else. Even stranger was after she came down, she went to the dining hall for a minute, but quickly left. Lyle, maybe Lyle's not he's not that bad. Lyle's actually I thought he was gonna be kind of against everyone the way he was talking the first thing, but I'm saying this right now, I'm calling it right now. Lyle isn't gonna kill anyone. 100%. Lyle's not, he's kind of that guy to throw you off a little bit, like a joker to say, but I have 100% think that Lyle's not gonna kill anyone at all. He might cause chaos or something, but he's not gonna kill anybody. I can just tell. Look at the stance. But also, that's really interesting. I poked around in there and saw this in the pantry. Oh. Whoa. Secret note. So, is that the so-called special gift? Yeah, I can only assume. I was confused. How could it have been a special gift from this morning if Pandora shared the same note with me in confidentiality last night? I decided to keep quiet about it. I didn't want to confuse things further. I would honestly, I don't know, Pandora did specifically say not to tell anybody, so I'd probably be debating whether not to tell Lyle or not. I studied it a little, and the symbols don't match any symbols of the students that are currently here. I cross-referenced the note symbols with the ones in our personal room doors and got nothing. That is, if the note symbols even belong to students. I remember Missy saying something about other students. No? She told me that the preservation project divides Ultimate students groups across different wings of the building. Maybe those are students from a different wing. So, what would we do if we did know those students? It's not like we've seen them in our part of the building yet. Who knows? Could it be morphogenetic field theory? Lau muttered something under his breath. Morpho what? Don't worry about it. It makes me wonder though, are we meant to be recognizing other students? For example, I believe I recalled Ashley and Echo being friends before this. Am I wrong? No, you're right. I thought it was just me though. Right. See, for me, I recognized Art's school emblem, AA Academy, right? Huh? Yeah, how'd you know? I went to Rain Moth's Institute. I remember seeing your school symbol when our schools merged. My school used to be called Signal Prep High School before the merger. I thought you were so cool, representing a whole school to influence a merger. That's kind of embarrassing. It was such a long time ago, I hardly remember it. Why not? It's amazing that you use your cough skills to make that happen. Our school has never been in better shape, thanks to your help. Thanks. People complain that my games are interesting enough since I always get the same result. A hole in one. They always say games should be entertaining. They should just play golf themselves, you know? Besides, Lyle, you're the cool one. I mean, you use like your deduction or whatever to figure out how to disarm a dangerous door. That's more utility than I could ever have imagined. It's nothing. The door doesn't even open. It's still awesome though. I feel like you could even figure out what the deal is with this killing game and not some stuff. Oh yeah, that's the end goal. I'm just working my way through all these small pieces they've given me. You talk energetically as I awkwardly watched. Oh, sorry, Echo. We're just over here talking your ears off, huh? That's alright. I'll take my leave now if you guys want to continue. Sure, it was fun hanging out with you. Let me know if you come across anything else weird, alright? Our Lyle left, chattering along the way out. Interesting, though. Sai was the one. Was Sai do something? Perhaps. Also, I do find it really interesting that, like, Lyle just kind of disarmed a freaking electric door. Like, god dang. This dude's like that? They really clicked, huh? Despite Ark's lack of sensitivity. I turned around and glanced over at the digital kiosk in the foyer, looking for the time. 15. It's already 3 in the afternoon. Nothing regarding the killing game has happened all day. I guess I should be relieved. I really wanted to find Ashley, but it seemed like she was trying her best to put distance between us. I suppose I'll just pass time in the study. Anybody in here? On my way to the study, I skimmed the collection of encyclopedias. My favorite reading. An interesting titled book, Odd Theme Parks Across the World, caught my attention. With a tome in hand, I settled in the warmly lit study and began to leaf through the pages. I passed through the time reading about a strange underwater theme park called Lemieux. Lemu? Lemieux? Is it that time already? Looked up from the book's pages toward the reading sound coming from the ceiling. It is now 4 p.m. Oh. What? And no one has died yet? Ugh, how boring. Here's something that'll pump up your blood to shed some blood. Some inspiring and exciting, energetic music. Music? This one's a special request from many of you at home. Enjoy. It's finished and a cacophony of obnoxious sounds started playing overhead. What kind of music is this? I tried the book to cover my ears, but it was pointless. The reverberation pierced through my skull and pounded through the walls. What the heck? Cigar in the room, I looked for the speaker, hoping to block the noise. My efforts were futile. He just has music that makes us go insane? I ran out of the study, but the din kept crashing through my head, amplified worse from bouncing off the hallway walls. Where is everyone? I instinctively went to the foyer, but it was no use. The door was disarmed, but it was still barricaded. What can I do? The noise was even more severe in the foyer as it crashed off the walls and echoed to the main chamber. Go to the jazz club. I mean, right? That'd be the best place. Well, there's probably a speaker in there too. It was pounding. I could feel the vibrations in my body and my heart beating in my ears. Turning away from the main doors, I saw shadowy movement at the top of the stairs. Hey! The shadow disappeared. I must have had a cry for attention, but it was drowned out by the noise. Help me! Sitting up the stairs, the shadow was nowhere to be seen. Shoot, where did they go? Peeked through the glass doors of the closest room. The spa lounge spotted Pandora reclining on one of the lounge chairs. Finally. Wait, am I the only one hearing this? Why is she just reclined? Oh, frick, is she dead? Oh, finally someone help me with this horrible situation. Why are you just reclined? I threw the door open and rushed in. The music persisted as echoes of its beats flood into the circular chamber. I'm scared. Pandora, what's going on? I can't find anybody. No react. Oh, frick. Pandora? I closed the distance between us and gently laid my hands on her. Time froze. My breath escaped me once more as I slowly came to the realize of what had happened. I felt my blood run cold as my eyes laid fixed on the stillness before me. Frick. Not Pandora. Not Pandora. No! Not Pandora! God dang it! What freaking sicko did this? Oh my god. There's no response from her. Pandora was dead. Mother, which one of you did this? I want everyone to line up in the atrium. God, the music wasn't that bad. Well, it was bad, but you just killed someone that quick? Who did this? I darted out of the spa lounge, my eyes tearing through the hall as I screamed at the top of my lungs for help from anyone. Help! Two people were swept in at the sound of my voice. Oh, forget. What is it? Stop making so much noise. The music is making enough of a racket. It's Pandora. She's... Where is she? She's freaking dead. It's not even an announcement. We raced back to the spa lounge. Cyrus and Kanan's eyes were bound immediately toward the horrific sight. Kanan cast sharply and flinched, nearly toppling over backwards from the recoil. Cyrus' expression hardened. A quiet anger amid. So upset. Emanated from him and almost palpable in the air. I myself was completely drained. All I could do was stare in cold silence. Finally, the music ceased and a new announcement began. At last, a body has been discovered in the spa lounge. You will be granted a period of investigation, then we will begin our class trial. Please accept this generous gift of a special report called the Monokuma file. Oh wow, he's some verse. It will be printed from the digital kiosk and it outlines the details of our poor lost friend. Your lives depend on solving this case, so get a crack on. The announcement cut off, allowing stiff apprehension to suffocate the scene. Investigation? They want us to investigate Pandora's dead body? And how dare that announcement call her a poor lost friend? It's their fault for forcing this game on us. Echo, please calm yourself. It appears we're being given an opportunity to right this wrong. It may be difficult to swallow, but this didn't just happen out of nowhere. Someone did this. A culprit. A culprit? It's only appropriate. The culprit we are seeking is the killer. Culprit we're seeking is the killer is responsible for Pandora's death. I think that was a mistake in the writing. His voice was firm, but I could see him clenching his jaw and his eyebrows furrowed as he looked back at the body. Kanana never stood unmoving. She neither moved nor spoke since I saw her flinch at the first sight. It's like she froze. Fight, flight, or freeze, I guess. Right. The door flew open suddenly and I heard everyone clamoring at the spa lounge entryway. Oh, Jesus, she just fainted. Sai shrieked and immediately fainted. Sai! As the students made their way in, fright painting everyone's face as they caught sight of the spa's terrible centerpiece. Unbelievable. I wish that announcement was made in jest, but it appears I have been made a fool for hoping. This is too much. Why, Pandora? Why? Everyone seemed at a loss for good reason, for sure. The announcement said we were given a period of investigation, but I couldn't help but think it was such a detached request. Investigate the murder of our friend? Where would we even begin? Missy's commanding voice broke the silence. So, we've been instructed to investigate such a thing. The Monokuma file should tell us all about the means of her death. But how do we even start? Does anyone know the first thing about investigating a dead body? I spoke up, but Missy pressed on. All we can do is investigate to the best of our ability. If there's even a small, trifling matter that plays into this, keep it in mind. We need to put our best foot forward in the investigation if we are to find this heartless culprit. I have a bad feeling that the class trial may be an unforgiving scene. It's such a tragedy. Dreadful more so that we must be the ones to discover the culprit among us. Everyone was visibly distressed. We all stood some feet away from the body, afraid of approaching the reality of our situation. I didn't want anyone to die, but I really didn't want someone like Pandora to die. The air was thick with tension, but as she cut through. Missy's right. We need to get to the bottom of this. Someone killed our friend for some awful reason, if not for the ultimate prize. Murder is murder. Someone dies at another's hand and that life is taken away. One lives and one dies. There's no gray area about it. As her eyes were fiery with intent. Someone here. She trailed off, but we could fill in the blanks on our own. She didn't dare to utter the idea that someone standing within our ranks did this. She marched over and gently laid a hand on Pandora's, sharing a moment of silence for her. The rest of the group was unnerved, but silently agreed. Missy and Ashley were stern, but they were right. I was shocked at the sight of Pandora's body. But I mostly felt sad. She looked peaceful, suspended in a newfound endless slumber. The longer I looked at Pandora, the more the suffocating melancholy grew in my heart grew. My heart ached to hear her voice again, to see her smile. She had so much life, and it was dashed away in an instant. I clung to whatever memories I had of her. I couldn't let her warmth, her love, and her hope go unforgotten. Someone killed her, and we needed to find out who. Not only for our peace of mind, but for Pandora's sake. I hate that she's like in the freaking like scene like that. It hurts. So I had my fever. So I can't. I'm so upset. Let me get some water. I'll be right back. Okay, your boy's back. I had to get some water, bro. I'm over here, tears in my eyes. I freaking love Pandora. Despite my fervor, I was still anxious about investigating a body. Oh crap, okay, there we go. I messed up my recording slightly, it's okay. It was only natural. Just this morning, Pandora was so animated, sharing her breakfast pastries and getting along with everyone, but now all signs of life for her were erased, leaving a cold semblance of her person. I tried to work through the nerves by asking the others their thoughts on the situation. That is, if anyone had anything to say. Okay, let's look around. Okay, let's check the file first. Monokuma file shed some light on Pandora's death. It looks like a considerable amount has been conveniently omitted. Or rather, the entire file has been paraphrased for the purpose of vagueness. May I take a look? Missy handed me a black postcard-sized sheet. Cause of death. Oh, come on. Oh, okay, fine. Cause of death. Victim suffered from strangulation. No further injuries detected. Strangulation? It looks like she has, like, it's not strangulation with, hands, because there's lines around her neck. So while she was laying in the spa chair, somebody just came up behind her and started strangling her. So it was strangulation. But is that all the information we have? Unfortunately. However, we have yet to inspect the scene itself. I trust none of the first witnesses has shifted anything upon arrival. No, I didn't touch anything. I saw her body, ran out and yelled for help, which called Cyrus and Kanan. Neither of them approached her. Well, there's not much else we can do. I swallowed hard. I still wasn't ready to confront the body, but I stilled myself regardless. Something deep in my heart told me I needed to do this. Echo, I know what you're thinking. It's hard, but we need to face her. You deserve so much better, Pandora. Dang, you deserve better. It's Pandora's body. Pandora's bracelet, formerly a rose gold color like my own, was now a vibrant, bright, neon bright pink. I guess it meant she's gone. As difficult as it is, we have to search the body and scene for clues. Nevertheless, Missy was having a hard time looking directly at Pandora's body. Do you notice anything odd? It briefly looked at Pandora's neck. Her neck seems to be in pretty bad shape. It looks red from some kind of stress. But other than that, I can't really figure anything else out. Could you let me see the full body and maybe I can see something? I mean, I'm at that point where I just want the person to find the person who did this Pandora. I want them sentenced to freaking death. It kind of say this, but like, Ashley has this. I'm not blaming Ashley. I love Ashley. Ashley's like my best friend. I trust her, but she does have this, which is the one, like, I was trying to think, where could someone get a rope from to choke somebody? Because in all the room, well, there is the climbing room. There is the climbing room. Someone could just grab a rope from there. The victim report. So no, it may not be Ashley. According to the Monokuma file, the cause of death states she suffered strangulation. Let's think about it. If she was strangled, what what did the culprit strangle her with? Good question. Do you think the culprit went to the climbing center and used a rope? Or perhaps they cruelly used their own bare hands? I think it'd be some kind of hand mark if it was like their hands, especially in the position she's in. It kind of looks like somebody could just wrap it around her from the back of the chair rather than like them laying on top of her and start choking her out. Then there'd be like huge signs of struggle. Shudder at the thoughts. In fact, the way I think of how the culprit committed such a thing was unnerving. Okay, there's something in the water. Is that the paper she had? There's a small scrap of paper in the pool. What's that? Not sure. I carefully fished out the paper, taking care not to tear it. Yeah, it's the paper she had. It was soaked, causing the words to be completely illegible. Oh, it's impossible to read. Yeah, it's ruined. It almost fell apart in my hands. A note, perhaps? However, the writing is impossible to decipher at this point. But how could this refuse be remotely related to the case at hand? Don't know. Seems kind of out of place, though. Remember, the announcement from this morning said there was a special gift for whoever went to the atrium. That is correct. Is it possible that this note was a supposed special gift? I can't say. However, I noticed the larger ink blots were vaguely in the shape of something I had seen before. I left the shreds of paper on the side of the pool. I guess that's all we can see. Oh, interesting. That's with all of you. Look at Lyle smiling in this thing, bro. Everyone else is having some type of face of dismay, and Lyle is smiling. Again, I trust Lyle though. Like I feel like he doesn't have an interest in killing people. He has an interest in solving the game, which could actually relate to killing people. But I think he wants to get everyone out. Genuinely. If I'm not gonna say my guess yet. I'm not gonna say it, but I do have a guess of who I think it is. Come on, Lyle, talk to me. Lyle, what are you thinking? If I'm being honest, I don't know. There's not a lot in the scene to dissect. The only thing that caught my eye was that shred of paper in the pool, but it's completely ruined. Expected a bit more keen observations from him, but even Lyle was either too stumped or too shocked to speak on the matter. Is it really possible that the music provoked murder? I can't wrap my head around music being used to motivate something so extreme. I agree. I cannot condone the vilifying of music. It's proven that music has therapeutic qualities, but conversely, select sounds have the ability to cause anxiety and other negative effects. In that case, maybe the motivating music was meant to make us stop thinking clearly? I definitely felt startled when it began. Perhaps, the rhythm of music can affect your body. Given our experience with the motivating music, it was high-paced and likely to be used to cause, as the announcer said, blood-pumping excitement. I suppose those qualities could have been abused to activate a fight or flight response that would inevitably end up like this. Is that so? That wretched music was certainly irritating, but for someone to succumb and produce such an intense reaction. To what end? Was the music really that motivating? It was bad, but to like... It was bad, but to be so bad you want to go strangle somebody? Sai fainted as soon as she entered the spa lounge. Forte was kind enough to situate her in a spa chair off to the side to regain her strength. Don't talk to me. Nana spoke through tightly gritted teeth. She looked disturbed. I admit, this is nothing if not shocking to see. The words were unwavering, but Missy's voice was cracked and disjointed. Yeah, I can't believe it actually happened. It's inconceivable. And to Pandora nonetheless. She held together quite strongly. I'm certain her spirit would not have been crushed by a game constructed of fear. Alas, there's no use thinking in hopeful hypotheticals now that this has occurred. Yeah. I was shaken at how articulate even on the subject of death Missy remained. I I think I'm gonna be sick. Up to his back, he took deep breaths. Hey, it'll be okay. I could barely eke out a word in this state. This is distressing, to say the least. Echo, were you the first one here? Yeah. I didn't catch anyone on my way here, so... Anyone on my way here, though. So I can't say I saw anyone suspicious who could have done this. You came pretty quickly after I shouted. Did you happen to see anyone? I can't say that I did. I was in the climbing center right next door, too. Where there could have possibly been a rope for you to put back after murdering her? Was Kanan with you? She came about the same time as you, if I recall correct. No, I was by myself. While I was in the climbing center, I left the door open if anyone wanted to join in recreation. No one came by the center and didn't leave until I heard your voice. I ran into Kanan shortly thereafter in the hallway just in front of the spa lounge. Weird. I didn't run into anyone on the first floor either, so whoever did it must have just vanished. We saw his shadow. That's unlikely. Regardless, how did the culprit give us the slip? Cyrus was grumbling to himself as he tried to organize the events past. Echo. It's selfish, but after I heard the announcement, I was relieved to see you standing in the room that said, Pandora didn't deserve this. No one deserves this. I just hope she didn't suffer. Ashley fell silent at our lost friend. I'd never seen Ashley so distraught. Well, that's everyone. I guess we just continue on. There's only a short... I want to check the climbing thing. Because I want to decide, was it someone using something on their person? Or did someone... Oh, my fault. There's multiple save things if I go down. I want to know if there was someone using something on their person, or did they go to the climbing lounge and grab something? After investigating Pandora's body, I felt an exhaustion like none other. Never in my life did I think I would be experiencing something like this. The weight of the shock and melancholy of it all bore heavy on my shoulders. Is there nothing else we can do? I wonder, did anyone see anything else suspicious on their way over here? We all looked at one another, but no one replied. Everyone was understandably on edge. Of course, no one wanted to talk. It appears we've exhausted all avenues of investigation here. Such a lackluster amount of clues doesn't bode well for us. Yes, but if we've done all we can looking into the scene, there's nothing left but to discover Pandora's killer. Jesus, I have an idea, but I have 2 clues: strangulation and the notes in water. Who had that note? My mind is really gone blank on who had that note. Sai. Because Lyle said that he went in the kitchen after she went into it, and Sai had the note. Can we check her apron pocket to see if it's Sai's note? Well, Lyle had it already, so never mind. So it's probably her note. But why would the note be thrown in the water? Of course, that's easier said than done. Kanan grumbling in the corner. She seemed distressed. Alright, I think I've given you all enough leeway to get yourselves together. So it's time for the class trial. I hope you have enough ammunition to shoot down the culprits. If not, then I guess you're all out of luck. There's an elevator in the main foyer that will cruise you all the way down to the class trial courtroom. If you do not assemble in the elevator quickly, I'll send out a radio transmission that will release toxic gas in your bracelets. You want to find out who did it, right? You don't want your lives to end before you've had the chance to defend yourselves, right? All that and more will be available for you in the courtroom. Let's get a move on. I'll be seeing you all shortly. The announcement went out as quickly as it came. So, this is really happening. The group shifted around anxiously. Well, what are we waiting for? Ashley took the first strides out of the room, but not without giving Pandora one last somber look from the doorway. Forte gently eased Sai awake, turning her gaze from the unsightly scene and helping her as she hobbled out. I'm gonna say right now, my suspicions are Forte, the opera guy, and Sai. I'm very hard. I'm like 80% on Forte, or like 70% on Forte, 30% on Sai. Sai, she fainted when she saw the body, right? Like, I don't think someone that faints when they see bodies gets strangled somewhat. I stood back for a moment to take one last look at Pandora. And Pandora gave her a watch. Out of everyone, why would you murder her? We all stepped into the large elevator and began the dark descent in the supposed courtroom. The elevator sailed noiselessly toward our unknown destination for what felt like an eternity. Silently, we stood. No one dared speak. I had a lump in my throat from the anxiety, the fear, the sadness. My stomach was knotted, my head dizzy, my heart aching. The small lounge we were meant to investigate came short of any useful clues. We were only able to procure 2 traces of evidence, one fact of which already stated simply in the victim report. And the other was a secret note that only a few were aware of. Nervous was an understatement. I was at a complete loss. The elevator eventually slid to a standstill, shaking me from my thoughts. And here we are. Doors open to our rendezvous. And actually, I'm being a little evil. I'm going to stop there. It's a little bit evil, but it's also like I'm stopping there not just to leave you on a cliffhanger. I'm stopping there because I don't know how long class trials last in this game. Like, if I'm being honest, I don't know if class trials go for like an hour or 30 minutes, and this recording is already 1 hour and 30 minutes. So I don't want you to sit here for like 2-hour recording for Danganronpa. But we will find out the next thing. Next episode will be soon on who murdered Pandora. Because whoever murdered Pandora, I don't want them to have an execution. I want them and me to be in a room alone together with an axe. Because trust me, I'm gonna handle it. I freaking love Pandora. Pandora reminded me of people I met in real life, just like a really sweet, kind person. So to see her gone first, I'm finding that killer and I'm killing them. No, seriously, I really did love Pandora's character. Like, she was really awesome. I did her dirty with my voice acting, but she was like a fun voice to do. So like, it's silly, but it was fun. She was such a beautiful soul. God dang it, Eric, so she's gone. Oh, I get emotional over such so easily. I gotta play with face cam so you can see like I actually tear up over this. But yeah, we'll continue more in the next episode because I don't know how long class trials are gonna be. I have my suspicions of Forte and maybe Sai. I'm more on Forte if anything, because he was in the climbing center, which is the one reason I can imagine her getting choked out. Oh no, Cyrus was in the. Was it Cyrus? Yeah, it was Cyrus in the climbing center. So I'm 50-50 on Cyrus or Forte. Because he's the opera singer, so I'm like, maybe the music bothered you so much that you had to get stopped. And for Cyrus, he was in the one place where I could imagine someone getting a weapon. But yeah, no, I will find out next one. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I sincerely appreciate you all, and farewell for now.